My father gave me a piece of advice years ago, but I didn't listen. I stopped running. And then my wife gave me a piece of advice. Therefore, I thought I needed to pay attention.
This is still closed. So, been a while since I've been here. Need to kind of get my act together, but this is our starting point. Man, this trail run is gonna destroy me. I am not in trail running shape. So much weight to lose still. But I'm out here, and that's a win. Just being able to get out. My belly is just flapping around right now. These are some reasons why I stop running. If you are like me and you need to kind of have a reset to figure out your stuff, because I'll tell you, running when you don't know why you're running, like what your goals are, like what you're trying to achieve, like it makes it so it's harder to be consistent. And for me, that's been my thing, right? So take stock, see what's going on in your life, come up with an action plan. I mean, you can feel sad, feel the emotions, feel sad, and then come up with a plan. The gloves are falling apart too. Come up with a plan of how you're going to dig yourself out of your hole that you may have dug, or I have dug. I've dug myself a big hole, and I got a long way to get out of it. But the first thing is stop digging, just like stop running. Take stock of where you are. If you're injured, you shouldn't be running, right? Start healing up. If you're fat, if you're sick and tired of feeling tired and sick, then stop eating the junk. I'm pointing at me. Stop eating the junk, Dave. Because that gives you a small dopamine hit. When you run, it's a bigger dopamine hit. But again, you cannot outrun a bad diet. It's just not gonna happen. And I've said it numerous times on my channel. Sometimes I just gotta take my own advice. But I'm happy. I'm a happy guy. This is good. It's been a great moment of just stopping, realizing where I'm at, come up with a plan, and start to execute the plan and know why I'm executing the plan. Because if you don't know why you're executing the plan, you're not going to stick with it.
There's a different type of feeling I get when I run on trails, specifically when there's nobody around. I am the only one here, and there's nobody to hear me. If I take one wrong step, I don't know how I can get help, because there are parts of this trail where there's no coverage. That means there's no connection to the outside world. So if I wipe out, roll an ankle, hurt myself somehow, I'm on my own, and I need to be able to figure it out, because nobody is going to come and save me. Nobody even really knows that I'm here. I'm out here just looking after me. I need to be self-sufficient. And looking out for bears or any wildlife, that's on me.
Oh yeah, here comes the rain. Oh, wait a minute. That was just a big gust of wind blowing the water off the leaves. I'm really happy I got out early today. I got a little bit of a commute to my next appointment, so I thought I would take the opportunity.
It's hard to explain the feeling I get running amongst the trees. Running in an area where there is nobody else. It's just me. Just me, my camera, and me talking to you. It's quite the experience. So far, 2025 has been a very difficult year. I do my best. I really do. And getting out for these runs is good for the soul. It's good for the mind. It's good for my well-being, my mental health, and everything else that goes along with it. It's just a good thing, and I need to do more of it. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that later in today's video, but it's something that my wife and my dad told me that I kind of forgot, and I need to focus on it again, because otherwise, what else is there?
There are a lot of platforms and other YouTubers out there that tell you how to run faster, right? Because they're coaches, because maybe they're young, right? Maybe they're in their 20s, 30s. I'm not any of those. So I am a middle-aged guy, just trying my best, you know, to document my adventures, my experience running slow using the Maffetone method or zone 2 or Cavarvin or whatever, right? Look, I don't have the money to go and get a VO2 max test done, or, you know, lab tests to know where all of my numbers are. I'd love to do it, but it's expensive here in Canada, right? My views on my videos, I'm not anywhere near making money per se, other than maybe getting a coffee on my videos. So for me to go out and spend the money, yeah, it doesn't make sense. So I rely on my Coros watch, you know, doing my wellness test or my fitness test to see where I'm at. And it may not be, you know, 100% accurate, but that's as accurate that I'm gonna get. Like, they're talking real life experience, you know, hiking up hills, right? I don't have mountains around me. You know, I got hills, I got some great trails. You know, I got the road, I got the track, you know, so documenting that process really helps. And over the years, you know, I've mentioned that getting faster by running slow is one of those ways that I do it. And while that is true, you know, getting out on a trail, doing what I'm doing right now, really is what I find helps me the most, right? Because let's just be honest about the situation. Being overweight, being an overweight runner and not being able to do the types of runs that you once used to do kind of drags you down. But instead of allowing it to drag you down, allow it to motivate you to grind up a hill, to run up a hill. Look, hill sprints are amazing. They help in a lot of ways, just like running slow does. So if you're thinking about whether or not, you know, this whole slow running thing is something you want to, you know, give it the time of day, you know, change it up. You know, add in a run, a hike, you know, into your training plan. You know, there was a time a couple of years ago that I could have run a lot of what I'm walking right now. But over the years, I've allowed myself to go the other way, to pack on the weight, you know, to deal with, you know, family circumstances that were out of my control. And as difficult as that is, you know, that's my reality. Now, are things getting better? No, not at all. Because it's kind of like an onion. When it comes to your fitness, when it comes to your health, you know, and if you're looking for a diagnosis as to why you're having the problems that you're having, like my wife is having so much problems, like with her health. It's fallen off a cliff, and we've been going from doctor to doctor to doctor, specialist. I mean, it's been a long journey, and trying to keep the ball rolling in a positive way. When you're like the guy, the financial aspect comes on me, right? Like, she can't work. She's like, trying to get her to stand is difficult, right? Trying to walk is difficult, like really bad. Like, you know, she went from a healthy person to just crushed. And my heart is very, very heavy with that. But she said to me the other day, she said, honey, the one way that you can help me is by making sure that you're okay. Get out for your run. Just like you tell all the people that subscribe to your YouTube channel. You always say, get out and run. So what I need from you is, I need you to get out and run. I need you to put you first, because you can't help me if you're not good. And that's something that I've always said, but it's been very hard to put it into practice. And I say this to you because we all have somebody who struggles in life. And, you know, we can get down on ourselves and say, hey, you know, I'm not where I want to be. This is not where I thought I'd be in life. You know, I didn't think I'd be overweight. I didn't think I'd, you know, you have to walk with a cane. You know, I didn't think I'd have, you know, what you name the diagnosis, right? You just fill in the blank, right? I didn't think that would happen to me, but it does, because it's called life. And we are, in my opinion, we are presented with things in life that we need to overcome. And these are learning opportunities. So when I'm out for a run, it's a learning opportunity. I'm bettering myself. I'm trying to, you know, figure out why my hand right now is numb. Is it because I was holding on to the selfie stick for too long? That wouldn't have happened a couple of years ago. Well, here I am, right? Like, it is what it is. So we are blessed with a life. And as my father always said, there's a day that you were born, and there's a day that you pass away. And there's a dash in between those two dates. And that's called life. So whatever you do, don't let it pass you by. Because when you're on your bed and you got your last breaths, you know, are you gonna look back and go, oh, I'm so glad, you know, I worked late that one day. I'm so happy I finished that report at 10 o'clock at night and I missed my evening with my child, with my wife, with my friends. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, that's the way it's always going to be. There are times where you have to step up, right? But when it becomes the norm, you know there's a problem. I just want to live a better life. And I want to make sure my wife is in a good place. Is that so hard a thing to ask? I don't think so. So I think, you know, putting yourself first is a good thing to do. It's a good place to be, because then you have the energy. Okay, I'm lost again. Then you can put the energy into the things that matter. Okay, where the heck am I here? So I think by putting yourself in difficult positions can really stretch your bandwidth, your capability, your belief when it comes to your health, right? You got to take stock of where you are. Okay, I weigh 225 pounds. I'm not happy, I'm heavy. It hurts my knees, my joints ache. I have this fat belly that just bounces every time I run, right? This is not a good place. My heart rate is higher than I would like it to be, even just by walking. Like, whatever it is, you got to take stock of where you are. And then you got to come up with a plan, right? How are you going to address the current situation that you find yourself in, right? And once you do that, then you can start to execute it. But the biggest thing that a lot of people forget is why? Why are they doing this? Like, why do you want to lose the weight? Why do you want to run faster? Right? Why do you want to use heart rate training? Why? 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 I am by myself out on this trail. Why am I here? Because I want to be. I want to be in nature. I want to just absorb what this amazing place has to offer, right? I want to make sure I feel good after my run. I just want to be happy.
There's a lot of reasons to stop running, and there's a lot of reasons to keep running. Sometimes in my head, I'm trying to analyze both. Sometimes when I'm going up these hills, I start to question my sanity. Like, what am I doing? Why am I here? And what am I going to see next? Because I'm just one step away.
Like, look at this.
From something that I didn't even know was here.
I love when I see things like this. You know, all these rocks were put here, right? Why were all these rocks put here? Who put all these rocks here amongst all these trees? Were these trees here before, right? Like, who did that, right? Did the trees grow up around it? Like, was this clear? Did natives do that? Did pioneers do that? Did the Europeans do that? Like, why did they do that? Right? It's question. Always ask why. Never take something for face value. Be a critical thinker. So why isn't the Maffetone method working for me? Why can't I run slow but yet get faster? Why am I never losing weight? Why do I keep yo-yoing? Why can't I stay consistent? Why am I running on trails knowing I could wipe out at any time and hurt myself, and there's nobody out here to help me? Why? Why do all of these things? And why is there no signpost to say where I am? There used to be. Like, I could go that way. 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 Or I could go back up to where I was. Why am I here? It's gonna get wet, Dave. It's gonna get wet. I'm gonna get a wet foot. Oh, it's gonna be wet. Okay, I'm lost. Where the heck am I? Seriously. Trees are down. I just stopped to go into the woods to go to the washroom. And I'm trying to figure out which way I came. Anyways, get out and run if you're not lost.